good to be with you again today. And as per usual, we have a really great topic, a fun thing we are going to talk about. I have had recently so many people talking about wanting me to help put together Europe itineraries for them. And so today I thought I would highlight one. I also have often people that ask about more adventure type of trips because I am a wellness travel specialist. Wellness in traveling is not just connecting with your people and connecting with your place, but it's also a big component of it is like that, the actual physical wellness part of your trip. And so today I thought it would be really great to highlight a hiking vacation. This is in Switzerland, and I'm calling it Epic Trails, Expert Guides, and Luxury Stays, the ultimate Swiss Alps hiking itinerary. So this is a really fun 6-day Alps hiking trip. And of course, if you want to stay longer in Switzerland, either we can extend your stay either before or after this particular trip if you wanted to do something similar to this. So this is really a fun, amazing itinerary. So let's just jump in. I'll give you a little intro and then we'll actually go through the itinerary so you can see what it's like. So imagine breathtaking mountain views, the promise of an unforgettable day on the trails without sacrificing comfort because of the places where you are staying. You will have expert guides, you will see rolling meadows, dramatic peaks, charming villages, and this is an amazing trip because it has customizable hiking options, so they're tailored to your preferences each day. You don't have to do the longest hikes if you don't want to, or you can choose a combination. It's the perfect balance of challenge and enjoyment with hand-picked luxury accommodations, most of your meals included. And so I just want to jump into it and see what the itinerary has to show us. So this is a hiking or walking 6-day trip. So it meets at a train station in Interlaken, Switzerland. So of course you can, arrive in the country a while beforehand, or you can arrive just in time to get the train to meet your group. So it meets at the Interlaken East train station, and you will just meet right in front of the train station. You should be, right when you arrive, you should be dressed in your hiking clothes, bring your luggage and a day pack with you, maybe some rain gear, jacket or extra layers, or anything else that you might want for hiking, because you are going to be hiking even on day one. Your luggage, suitcases, whatever else you have will be taken to the hotel individually. So it will meet you at the hotel. All right. So once you meet at the train station, you will take a shuttle, a bus to a place called Adelboden. It's just an hour away. And then we'll start on the first walk or the first hike of the vacation. So the options are you can either go on a little 2-mile hike, which is about a 300-foot elevation gain, a 3.4-mile hike, or a 4.2-mile hike. Depending on, you can choose whichever route that you want to do. There are also shuttle options if you want a partial shuttle option. So the Adelboden is a really charming little Swiss alpine village, which is in the Bernese Highlands, and have lunch before you start hiking. You'll have a brief orientation from the leaders and then set out on a hike through the valley and take a gondola ride. Once you go through the valley, you'll take a gondola ride up to the Sillerengule station, and then you start on the Wildflower Trail. And so you can go on the Wildflower Trail, see breathtaking views of the valleys, and you can, hike as long or as short as you want. On the way back down, you will go past these small cheese huts and a beautiful little brook. And then once you get back down a little bit further, then you have an option to go on a trotty bike, which is a 2-wheeled push scooter, and go back to Adelboden. So then you'll have like an evening reception and get to enjoy the evening with the other people on the tour. So if you can see this picture, you can see what a trotty bike is. It's like a scooter, but it's got bigger wheels, kind of like a bike. So it's really fun, and you'll get to ride that on your way back down. The hotel for this night, this is just a 1-night stay, and it's called the Cambrian Hotel. And this is a beautiful property. Of course, it's right in the middle of the Alps because all of the hotels are in the middle of the Alps. If you visit in the winter, they have like a free ski shuttle and free ski passes, but they offer ski passes and ski storage in the winter. But in the summer, if you were doing this hike, then I would totally take advantage of the outdoor things. Like they have an outdoor pool, they have sun loungers, rooms, pool umbrellas. They have bike rentals. So it's just a really beautiful property. And you can see, I'm just scrolling through some of the pictures. It's just absolutely breathtaking. Breakfast is included and just gorgeous scenery. Beautiful, beautiful hotel. So this is where you would stay the first night. The rooms have pillow menus. Of course, they include toiletries and hair dryers, refrigerators in the rooms, that type of thing. And really close to some fun sightseeing. So once you get to the hotel this afternoon, if you want to wander around and do a little sightseeing, you are totally able to. Okay, so that is day one. Then day two is what is called the Gemmi Pass hike. So you'll take a shuttle to a beautiful little town called Kandersteg, and it's just in the Kander Valley and just got mountain peaks all around it. It's known to be a mountaineering center and just a really favorite destination for European travelers. It's, a great place to start. And once you get to Kandersteg, then you get to ride the Sunbuel cable car. And so it goes 6,300 feet up the mountain. And then that is when you get to start hiking for the day. And you'll just go on a gradual uphill on a wide path through the valley, get to see these beautiful lakes and the Bernese Alps all surrounding, basically heading up to the Gemmi Pass. So on a clear day, if it's clear on the day that you are hiking, you can see the Matterhorn and you can see Monte Rosa, which is Switzerland's highest peak. So you'll have lunch along the trail and then get back on the Gemmi Bahn cable car down a steep mountain. So it's really fun to go on the cable car down this steep mountain. And at the bottom of the mountain is this town called Leukerbad. And Leukerbad is the largest thermal center in Switzerland. They have these little picturesque narrow streets with old chalets and shops and cafes. And it's beautiful, got beautiful thermal waters and centers. The spa treatments are not included in the regular trip, but totally able to be pre-booked and pre-scheduled before your trip so that you can have some spa treatments on the way. And dinner is included that night. So basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner are all included. The hike options for today, there are two different options. There's the one of 5.7 miles, which is called the Gemmi Pass route, or there's the Gemmi Pass Traverse route, which is 6.9 miles. And those are the two options today. Beautiful, beautiful countryside. Okay, then starting tonight, for the next 2 nights, you will stay in a property called Les Sources des Alpes. And this is right in the area of Leukerbad that I was talking about. Breakfast is included here as well. There are, of course, body treatments, massages, that type of thing, even manis and pedis at an on-site spa. There's an outdoor pool again with sun loungers and outdoor umbrellas, hot springs on site. The rooms are really comfortable, flat screen TVs in the rooms. Here are just a few pictures of what the hotel looks like with the pool, and the rooms are just beautiful and updated and just really lovely. Okay, so this is the hotel where you will stay for 2 nights. All right, now we are on to day 3. So the walking and hiking options on this day, there's what's called the Snows and Meadows route, which is 4.1 miles altogether and only 100-foot elevation gain. So it really is just a walk. There is the Dala Gorge Loop, 5.7 miles, which is a 600-foot elevation gain. There's the Fluealp Cheese Farm Loop, and that one total is 7.7 miles. But that one has a lot higher gain. It is a 2,200-foot elevation gain. Okay, so let me describe what today is like. So today you get to cross patches of snow and ice with jaw-dropping views. You start in the Dala Valley. Basically, you will take a shuttle to the Dala Valley and you get to cross on this high suspension bridge. And there is a thundering waterfall crashing down underneath you. The bridge is super stable. It doesn't swing. But if you opt not to go across the suspension bridge, you can always hike around the bridge. So that is an option just in case you are squeamish about that. So once you get across the suspension bridge, you can either hike onward for lunch, or you can go back to Leukerbad and meet the hikers back at town. So that would be the shorter hike, or you can stay and do the longer hike. So if you choose to do the longer hike, then you have more of a climb. It's just kind of a steep, steady climb with the mountains all around you. Of course, you'll be seeing the flower-filled alpine meadows and the cows along the way with the leather collars and the brass bells. So here, once you get to Fluel, then you will visit a local cheesemaker and you get to have a Swiss cheese making demonstration, have a picnic lunch with everyone, and of course, including some delicious cheeses. And then you go up the valley to Hidden Chapel, which is built into the mountain. And then the return route takes you down the other side of the valley and back to Lukerbad. And then enjoy a delicious Swiss meal at a local restaurant this evening. So this is a really fun day. Okay, day 4 is Zermatt. So at the beginning of day 4, you'll get up and after breakfast, take a bus and train to Zermatt. It's about 3 hours away. And then the walking, hiking options for this day, you can take a shorter one, which is 3.7 miles. You can do the Valley Loop, which is 4.8 miles, or the longer route, which is 6.6 miles. Okay, so on this day, you leave Lukerbad and do the 3-hour bus and train ride like I talked about. Zermatt is really a fun town. It is a car-free village. There are no cars allowed in Zermatt. So through the train window, you'll be arriving by train and you'll get to see this beautiful mountain scenery. Of course, you might have a chance to see the Matterhorn depending on how clear it is, and jump straight into Zermatt with the hike. So you hike into the Zermatt Valley on a mountain footpath, lots of little traditional huts and hamlets. And then in Zermatt, there are these beautiful, amazing little stilt homes. And some of them are over 500 years old. So cool. Have lunch at a mountain hut with rustic and delicious fare. And then if you're up for a challenge, you can keep climbing to Schwarzsee and see some amazing, beautiful views. But if not, you can go back to the hotel. You can go back on foot or by gondola and then settle in at a new hotel, which is called the Grand Hotel Zermatt Herhof, and it's a beautiful place. You get to have dinner on your own in Zermatt, and there are some amazing restaurants close by, and the leaders can tell you all about what their favorites are. So I have a couple pictures of kind of this one's the Zermatt train station. This one's in winter. Of course, if you do this hiking trip in the summer, it would not look all snow covered like this, but it does show you the location of just this train station in the middle of the mountains. And then this is more of what it looks like in the summer. Just absolutely beautiful. Okay, the Grand Hotel Zermatterhof is a wonderful hotel as well. You will stay here for 2 days, 2 nights. They do have bicycles at this hotel that you can take out and bike around the town. There is also a spa, so you can have a mani-pedi, you can have a body treatment, body wrap. There are 3 on-site restaurants at the hotel where, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all kinds of food options. You wouldn't really need them so much because of the nature of this trip, but they are available. They have an indoor pool at this property, not an outdoor one, but they also have it's beautiful and well within walking distance of so many great things. You can see they've got this gorgeous terrace outside that just has these loungers and umbrellas and seating that you can just hang out and enjoy the beautiful mountain views. There's a picture of the Matterhorn. There's an on-site bar, the beautiful pool, the indoor pool, and the rooms are just gorgeous. So that is the Grand Hotel Zermatterhof, where you'll stay for 2 nights. Okay, now we're on to day 5. The walking and hiking options, day 5, you can go the shorter option, which is 4.8 miles, the medium option, which is 5.7, or the longest option, which is 6.7 miles. And this morning you take the Gorner Grot Railway partway up the mountain and then start hiking along a steep, but it's a well-manicured trail, which is overlooking Zermatt. And then you get to the top of Gorner Grot, and it is just spectacular, just absolutely beautiful. You can see the bright blue pools, and Gorner Gletscher is like the beautiful valley with crevasses and glaciers, and it's just absolutely stunning. Have lunch up here. While you're eating, you might even be able to hear the glaciers that are kind of groaning and grumbling as they, very, very slowly have different little movements. You can't see, but sometimes you can hear. All right, after lunch, you continue hiking, or you can head back to the Rotenboden station and take a railway train up to the summit. So either way, hiking or taking the railroad up to the summit. And then once you have gotten to the summit, then you return back to the hotel for some R&R. This afternoon, if you want to take a longer afternoon hike, then you can do the Monte Rosa route. And it starts at the Gorner Glacier, goes up the back side of the Gorner Grat to reach the summit. If you don't want to, or whether you do or don't, later this afternoon you have time to just enjoy the hotel, maybe get a massage, or head into town and explore some souvenirs and just wonderful little amazing things that are in the town. This is the last day of the trip, and so you have a farewell dinner and reception with the group for the final evening. And you can see there's just beautiful scenery, and this is what the cute little town of Zermatt looks like. Okay, then on day six is saying goodbye. You can take a final hike on this day, or you can just have a leisurely morning at the hotel, having breakfast and soaking up the views. If you do want to take one last hike, then you can hike up to a mountain hut. It's called the Edelweiss Hut Route, and it's just over 2 miles, overlooking Zermatt and the surrounding peaks. It's not a very long trek, but it's really fun to kind of do one final last hike to see the mountain trails and everything. So, and then from here, as you can see, the trip ends in Zermatt. And so you can take the train from Zermatt back to wherever you want to go in Switzerland, whether you are going back to the airport or if you want to stay longer, I can totally help you with that. Head to a different country, whatever you want your trip to look like. All right, so I want to just, before we get out of this trip, I want to just go over just some great components of this trip. So the leaders, there are 2 leaders on this trip, and they provide excellent trail support so that everybody can have the experience that they want. So if you just want more of the easygoing walks and you just want to do the shorter ones, that is perfect. If you want to do the longer ones, the more rigorous hikes, that is also perfect. And that's why there are the 2 leaders, so that they can support whatever the group wants to do. The terrain, of course, because you are in the Swiss Alps, there are some really exhilarating and steep climbs along some rocky paths. Sometimes they're uneven paths. Of course, not everything is going to be paved and perfectly easy to navigate. So you should be, if you want to do this kind of a trip, you should be comfortable with, being able to actually hike and walk in the mountains with different elevations that you're going to. Meals. This is a really cool thing about this trip, because food is an amazing part of the experience, right? And you really want to be able to dig into the food. So for lunches, you might have a grand picnic where your leaders actually are preparing the food at a certain setting, or you might have a boxed lunch or packed lunch that you have brought with you, or you might eat at a favorite restaurant. On this trip, I don't think any of the lunches are at restaurants. And now let's talk about dinners. Switzerland may be known as the land of cheese and chocolate, but it also includes a wide variety of dishes that some are French, some are German, some are Italian. And so dinners have these amazing regional specialties at gourmet restaurants. Sometimes they have specially prepared limited menus just for you, just for the group. And so this trip includes all of your breakfasts, 5 lunches, which is basically all of your lunches, and 4 dinners. So if you noticed, there was only 1 dinner that was not included in the options, and 1 night that you would be able to just find dinner on your own in Zermatt. So what did you think of that itinerary? Amazing, right? If you are craving a chance for experiencing a location and having an adventure, not just visiting and kind of getting to see the surface level, if you have always wanted to visit the Swiss Alps, this might be the perfect trip for you. That's why I'm highlighting it, is because it's so wonderful. It's like this amazing, immersive, just incredible experience. And yet it's got the safety of having the guides and, people to kind of show you what to do and help you navigate the country where you probably don't know the language and the customs and everything. So it's just totally amazing. It's a fantastic combination of adventure and luxury. It's hiking or walking on your own terms. And so you can do the short, the long hikes, or in between, whatever you feel like on that day. Great combination of beautiful landscapes and the towns all in the Swiss Alps. It's just an incredible option. So let me know if I can help you get there. I would love to help you with this itinerary or another one that you've been thinking about. So I love helping people get to Europe because it's just an amazing destination. So let me know if you'd like to get there and I will totally help you. So, and thank you so much for being part of this journey and sharing this itinerary with me because it's been great sharing it with you today. We'll talk to you soon. If you've enjoyed this podcast, I would invite you to like, share, or leave a review. Let's help grow our wellness travel community.